engaging with patient advocacy groups and really trying to bring them not only into the patient-facing material, but looking at the design of trials as well is something that we're trying to do. I think that these new regulations whereby we talk about inclusion and diversity, what we are also doing by diversity is actually widening patient participation, going out to a much broader reach of patients, and therefore you should increase the size of a funnel and we should have more patients coming into trials and then less sites that don't enrol.
As a sponsor, we are really focusing on partnerships, particularly with agency bodies such as the MHRA, NIHR, ABPI. And so we're actually part of developing those regulations and then supporting best practice once they're implemented. And then thinking about the trust level as well, as we're working very closely and partnering with the NIHR for the implementation and launch of the CRDCs. So these are intended to be the new superpowers. They're going to turbocharge our life sciences industry. So we are partnering very closely to support the success of them, and particularly through, all the different products within our pipeline at Biogen.
With a tough funding environment and an emphasis on getting to clinical data, we've seen early stage biotechs really narrow their focus on a lead asset. The data that comes out of Australia can be used for FDA and EMA submissions, which is critical to the growth of a lot of these early stage biotechs. Oncology, like you mentioned, went from having a little over 600 programs to now just a little over 200. So that's 66% drop. But in general, obesity and RNA therapeutics tend to be doing the best this year.
The advantage we have in oncology trials in the UK, no matter who is running them, is that we've had effective patient involvement for 25 years. And there are plenty of patients who know what they're doing, patient advocates. And there are lots of patient groups who are interested in research, but they come at it from a different angle. So on the one hand, you have patient advocates like myself, who are more interested in what is the trial question and how do you propose to answer it. And then there are other patients who are actually more interested in, okay, what is the effect of this treatment going to be on me now? And what are the effects going to be in 5 or 10 years' time?
Fundamentally, what we were talking about was the fact that RBQM adoption is on the rise, which is great. We've gone from 53% of all studies with an RBQM component in them to 88% over the last 6 years, which is a fantastic statistic. But the value, the benefits from RBQM are not being fully realized. And it was about that. What do we do about continuing to push the adoption trend up, but getting the back-end value out of RBQM as well?
So my session was discussing why we're still finding eCOA studies so hard during the setup and implementation process. We are still experiencing some of the pain points that we have for many years. So discussing them a bit more and some solutions that I think we have to those challenges that would help us all move forward as an industry.
Really how we need to continue building site engagement and try and work with the sites to get better interactions. I think also what the understanding what the MHRA is doing to speed up applications in the UK and giving us that UK focus.
I think the main thing is speed and being able to recruit enough patients. Our healthcare system is so overstretched at the moment, and we're seeing that in terms of recruitment, both of staff and patients into the clinical research space.
Innovation doesn't just mean technology. Innovation means also using tools and devices and whatever is already there for approaches and things that they haven't been used before. So you can innovate by using what's already at your fingertips in many cases.
80% of clinical trials today, they never complete on time. And one of the reasons is poor patient enrollment or recruitment into clinical trials. Doesn't mean there are not enough patients to be part of the clinical trials. It's all about not having enough systems or efficient systems in place at clinical research centers.
Biggest takeaways for us are the CROs and pharmaceutical companies and CROs really want to differentiate themselves in the game, in the clinical research landscape. Everyone wants to adopt to the AI, and that's where we come into picture. We can really be a game changer in that.